Hello, and welcome to Far Cry 2. Probably the most misunderstood of the Far Cry games, and probably the most how would you say the most ill represented game in the series. A lot of people like to say that it's a respawning guard post and constantly being attacked by vehicles and just an annoying game to play. But in actuality, this game gives unparalleled amounts of freedom. The open world is something that I wish we would see more of in games nowadays. It gives actual reason to explore, and the respawning enemies and the guard posts and the patrols, they give reason to play the map a different way, to use the things that you have at your advantage, or the things that you have to use in your toolkit that the game gives you. It gives you a reason to use them. So we have this patrol that just went by, and we can just walk down here, ignore it, get in the car, and the fact that he will chase us down or attack us if he sees us. But we can just take care of it. We can find high ground. Here he comes. There he goes. And now this patrol route is safe for a while. He won't respawn right away. And that's something you can do throughout the game. It's not like you can't avoid patrols. It's not like you can't avoid enemy respawns or the zones that they're in. You can use it to your advantage. Here's a free vehicle that we can use. So what I did right before this was I took out a weapons. I did a weapons dealer mission that unlocked some new weapons for me. I took it from a weapon shop that is down here at the bottom of the map, down at the bottom left. And it spawned up here in the top left. Now a lot of people would say that you have to drive. I know some people call it far drive. Well, no. I took the bus down there in the bottom left, and I fast traveled up here to the top left. And then I just drove over to where I am right now, where it was doing its little circles that it does. Blew up the truck, and there you go. Now I'm gonna just drive on back to where I came from at the bus stop. So we're just gonna drive on over, and we can easily avoid any interactions with enemies or patrols by just going over here to the edge. Just go over here and just enjoy some of the nice little visuals that this game gives. It's amazing that this game came out in 2008. Look at that. The sunrises and sunsets in this game are just fantastic. The vegetation interactions where you can hit the vehicles and it destroys them. It hits the bushes and destroys them, or breaks off branches of trees when you shoot them. I mean, just look at this. Fantastic game. One of my most probably replayed games. Probably each year I come back and always have to play it, especially the PC version. I originally played it on the Xbox 360. I got into it by watching Major Slack, fantastic YouTuber. And at first I had the same feeling that a lot of people have, that frustration of, man, this game is just frustrating to play. There's constantly enemies everywhere, and I wasn't playing it the way that the game is supposed to be played. And a lot of his videos showed that. And ever since I watched his videos, it completely changed my outlook at this game. Because at first, I just wasn't a big fan of it. And then after I changed the way that I played it and kind of took it as more of a survival shooter, like an open world survival game, or a hardcore shooter, rather than a normal kind of open world story game, kind of what the newer Far Cry's have turned into. Starting with Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 was a fantastic game. I can't hate on it at all, but it did start the route of the collectathon games and the collecting the pelts of the animals to upgrade your weapons, the storage free weapons, your pouches and your health, how many items you can hold. Whereas in this game, those same things are are part of the game and part of the upgrades path that you have. However, they are baked into the exploration and finding the diamonds, and what I feel is a little bit more of a realistic take on it. So we're gonna go up here to the top left again, back to where we were. I wasn't even paying attention. I just fast traveled back to the same exact place. I'm surprised it let me do it. One dude's gonna walk around in a circle and come right back to where he was. We'll just save because we haven't done it lately. There we go. So where are we? Okay, that works. I thought I messed up. So we have a location over here that gives us, as they're shooting at us, because there is a patrol that comes by here. So we have our diamonds that we can collect right here, which uses our tracker, which, like I said, is part of your exploration and a fun aspect of the game. Let's take care of these guys. That guy's down. Where's your buddy at? Oh, there he is. Not too much of an issue. I do kind of like how they do this little last stand. Kind of have funny little ways that they fall. But anyway, we'll go where I meant to go last time. We'll go over here and we'll click on this and go down to the bottom. Make sure I'm right. I always get the colors mixed up. Yes, it's the red that we go to. I've been playing this game for like a decade now or more. Well, over a decade, and still I get those colors mixed up at times. Sit through our loading screen. They're not too bad, especially with SSDs, but still a little long. But you only see them when you're fast traveling, so it's not a big deal. We just saved. Okay, so this is one of my favorite areas of the map to go to in order to reach the weapon shop. So you have the bus stop right here, and then we have our weapons dealer right over there. So we're gonna go and get in our, or on our ATV, and we're gonna take a little drive over. Now this area is completely safe. There's no patrols. They go down here, so between the weapon shop and the bus stop is completely safe. Again, just the visuals of this game are still a sight to look at, especially if you can play it on a modern computer. You can turn the anti-aliasing up to 8 times and turn your resolution up. It's still a looker, and it's amazing just how this game and the engine has survived the test of time. And the gameplay as well. It's still just a blast to play. So, but I just want to make this video just to show that this game is not as bad as everybody likes to say. It's a fantastic game. I know a lot of people like to kind of hate on this game about the respawning enemies and saying that it's annoying with the weapon jamming and the malaria. One thing I did want to mention about the malaria is that it is actually linked to mission progress and not to time. I know a lot of people say, oh, you're always running out of malaria medication. That's not actually true. You have an unlimited amount of malaria medication until you progress the story to a certain point, and then you'll get one of those missions. And once that malaria mission pops up on your to-do list, then your next pill will be your last. So that one is kind of a myth that a lot of people spread about this game. That's always kind of frustrating me, is that no. It's not as big of a deal as it's made out to be. And the malaria pops up not as often as you'd think. It's not as intrusive. Maybe not still the most fun gameplay aspect that to put into the game, but it's not that bad, and it does add a little bit from the story where he does have malaria, and it gives that kind of push to the story. Another aspect is the weapons. A lot of people complain about the weapons jamming. If you use the resources that the game gives you, that's not going to be an issue. So you have the weapon shops that are put around the map. So let's pull this up. And we have one at the top right. We have one kind of to the top left slightly. We have the easy one to get to him here at the bottom left. And there's one over on the right side. Then there is a second map to this game with a very similar layout, where you have the fast travel points, and usually those weapon shop and the assassination missions are going to be close by as well. So it's not as big of a deal as it's made out to be. You're not going to be running into weapon jamming unless you never come and get new weapons. So let's kind of show. Let's go in here and see what we can get next. So here's our weapons dealer. Oh, our next one, we can get the AK-47, the MAC-10, and the rocket launcher RPG. This is great for the remaining missions that we have for the weapons dealer. The RPG-7 is fantastic for it. So you just go up here and he tells us the same thing he usually tells about a shipment of crappy weapons, he calls it, coming in, and wants us to go and destroy it. So we accept it, and we will go on our way. So let's open up our map, which again, it's fantastic that it's in game. It doesn't freeze your game, and you can have free reign to zoom in and out in game. So what we notice here is that we have it kind of on that middle right side of the map. We could drive there and have to deal with countless guard posts and patrols, or we could use the things that the game gives us. Like I said before, the little tools that the game gives us. One of those being our fast travels, and the fact that we have two that we could use. We could use the bus on the bottom right or the top right. The best one for this is probably going to be that one on the bottom right. So let's go there. And this is true with all the missions in the game. You don't have to deal with the guard post as much as it's made out to be, and the respawning enemies. And if you think about it, if enemies didn't respawn and the guard post didn't respawn, imagine how boring the game would be. There would be no enemies to shoot. There'd be no dangers to the actual world. So they have to respawn just to keep the game a game. So let's go on over here to where we were. Just hating on the greenery. Not seeing any of the depressed animals around that love to usually there's a depressed zebra or two that likes to run into your vehicle. And they do not have much of a durability to them. They are the weakest animal. You just touch them and they die, which is always kind of entertaining in this game. The animals were, I guess, more of a kind of afterthought or a background thing. So we will go down to that bottom right one. Let's go there quickly. And for the most part, every time that I played this game, I start it the same way. I do using the bus stops. I will go around the map, doing those weapon missions, using the weapon shop at the bottom left to get the missions, and then using the bus stops to get as close as possible to the routes. Doing those to unlock all the weapons that you can at the beginning. And then once I got the sniper rifle, then you can kind of move on to the assassination missions. And once you've done that, you can get a good amount of diamonds that can help you upgrade your items, such as your pouch and your syringes and stuff, so you can hold more of all of them. Or buy the weapon crates, which I don't really suggest buying the weapon crates. They're not the best investment early in the game. So now we can pull out our map. Let's see here. Getting a little safe spot. So in a mission, not like these, if you're doing a mission close by and you see that flashing icon with the safe houses, I would suggest to take those out and clear the safe house before you do it, just because those guys have a nasty reputation in the game ever since I've played it to just sneak over. They have really good hearing, and they will just sneak over and get involved and kind of sneak up behind you to surprise you. So I would suggest, if you ever do a mission close by and you see one of these locked safe houses and it's not unlocked, go ahead and unlock it, just to avoid that. So that's just a little tip. So let's go up here to this little circle, because all of these do like a little circle on the map. So let's go up there. And where did I park? It's amazing I could lose my car. Jump over this. So let's get in our vehicle, and we are going to pull out our map. And we can't get too close to the edges of the map because you will pass out. But it's not too much issue. We have a lot of room over here to work with. Over here and just... That guy gave the worst attempt at jumping out of the way that I've ever seen. That was he deserved that one. Sneak that over here. That guy. Where'd your buddy go? Let's go ahead and reload. Normally I'd jump on the turret, but let's have a little fun hunting these guys down. Oh, that guy's dead. Okay, well, we're not gonna worry about him. There is a let's go up here and get that real quick. Pick that up. And like I was saying, this is just a fantastic way of making you feel like your time is not wasted by exploring the map, because those diamonds are used for so many things in the game. And you see that flashing. That also, I'll go ahead and get it. That also will flash. It'll flash both for diamonds and for these tapes. It can be a bit of a letdown at times when you think you're gonna find diamonds, and then you go and ends up it was just flashing for a tape, which unfortunately they kind of glitch halfway through the game, just kind of repeat themselves. It would kind of be cool to hear what the rest of them say. Anyway, we're going to pull out our map again, and we're going to kind of finish up. Going over here, using our environment, and that we can avoid the main road. So we're doing this entire mission getting over here, and we're not even having to deal with any of those patrol trucks. If you want to fight them, you can, but if you want to avoid them, it's completely possible just by using the environment and playing the game in an immersive way. You can just make the game however you really want it. If you want it to be more challenging, you can make it challenging. If you want to make it easier on yourself, you can make it easier on yourself. So we're going to get out of the vehicle, pull out our map, and you can see this kind of rough, kind of not a circle, but basically it's just a circular route that it takes. And it will just go around it and around it and around it forever. So we will go ahead and we'll get out the explosive crossbow, just because pretty much everybody's going to have it now, because it is part of the DLC package that comes with the game when you buy it on Steam now. There's some of our wildlife. Not dangerous like it is in Far Cry 3, and not used yet for like crafting materials and stuff. I know a lot of people wish that this game had like crocodiles, but the only dangers in this game are from the human enemies and the vehicles. Anybody that's played this game will tell you that those revving sounds from the enemy patrol trucks will keep you up at night. Those will live in your nightmares. It's a terrifying sound. So we will go ahead and we will just wait for the truck to come by. Basically what this mission kind of comes down to is just going and finding a spot on the route and just kind of patiently waiting there until they come around. So they're about to arrive. Could use just grenades on this. Like I said, your best friend is using cover. Stay away from those trucks. Clear that guy. And that guy. Okay. And heal up, and now we will go ahead and pop our malaria And as you can see, the malaria is not as intrusive as it is made out to be. I was able to take care of those guys, even though I was having a malaria attack. So, not a big deal. And as you come over here, you can see the great fire effects that this game has, and the way they spread. Just a great game that deserves your time, in my opinion. If you haven't given it a try, on Steam sales, it goes for $5 or less now, and it's worth giving a shot, especially if you like open world games, if you like more hardcore kind of survival games, immersive games. This will give you what you're looking for. Now these guys came from every time there's you do one of those weapons missions, it gets rid of the guard patrol that usually goes around that route. So this guy was just spawning in back to where he usually is. So we took care of him. So that's why he appeared there. Is they always kind of disappear when the mission starts, and then they come back as soon as you finish it. But anyway, kind of closing up here the video. As you can see with the map, as we open it up again, we have the weapon missions and the assassination missions with the little dishes there, and you can easily get to those using the bus stops if you don't have to deal with the weapon. With the guards and the patrols, the guard posts and patrols. You can use those to your advantage. Plus, like I said, you don't have to deal with weapon jamming. You just go to the weapon shops, which are 4 of them around the map, actually 5, and you can go and just pick up a new version of the map every couple missions, and you don't have to worry about weapon jams. So don't get put off by the game with the reputation that it has from some people, with the weapon jamming and the malaria, and the guard respawns and the guard post. It's not as bad as it's made out to be, and it's just a great classic game to play. So I highly recommend giving Far Cry 2 a try. Far Cry 3, 4, 5, they're all great games. Far Cry 6, the ammo system that they used in that game just really kind of killed that game for me. But the others I do enjoy. I just wish we could get back to more of a less hand-holdy, more a game that gives you freedom. That's what you want from an open world game, and that's what this one gives you. You're not going to get a mission that tells you to go take out this person or go pick up this item, and then if you walk 5 feet out of the little colored circle, it tells you you failed the mission. In this game, you can get a mission that tells you to go take out a guy that's giving a speech somewhere, and you can go and find out, oh man, I really would rather have a sniper rifle for this mission. So you can go, drive back across the map, go to your safe house, or just use the fast travel at a bus stop, go switch over to a sniper rifle, go back to the mission, and snipe the guy. And the game doesn't care. It gives you that freedom. Or if you want, you can use an RPG. Go in guns blazing with the AK-47, or go in with the truck like this, and just hop up onto the back and just use the turret to mow everybody down. It's however you want to do it. If you want a game that gives you freedom and is just fun to play, Far Cry 2 is the best Far Cry, in my opinion. Anyway, till next time, see you guys.